From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a fire broke out at Nickerson Septic Service yesterday in Plymouth as a septic fuel tank exploded. We'll have the details coming up.
Plus, the Maine Senate voted to approve the second reading of the Online Data Privacy Act. We'll learn more about the bill ahead.
And for the first time in Maine Maritime Academy's history, they have a training vessel built specifically for the students.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Those stories and more coming up. We'll take you down to Portland where the Academy took ownership of the new state of Maine.
Cool.
It's a really neat boat. I call it a boat, but it's basically a ship.
It's a ship, yeah.
But we'll learn about it later coming up. First, a check of the forecast. Boy, yesterday turned out to be a great day.
It was.
You and I were just talking. We both spent time outside.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be cloudy, but the sun came right out, and I sat outside for a while.
It inspired me. I did some raking. I
Nice.
put away my little rack that I put all my firewood on.
Good.
And broke out my lawn chairs.
It's that time of year,
I
hopefully.
know. Today, though, it looks like we're going to have some messy weather moving in later on. Maybe a mixed bag, maybe a few snow showers here and there, but it won't last.
We'll turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Tick and Mosquito Guard. We stop ticks and mosquitoes. Now serving Washington, Hancock, and Penobscot counties. We are pet safe and have eco-friendly options available. Call today for a free quote, 207-263-3421. Alrighty, here we go. We have advisories posted. The winter weather advisory actually expanded farther down toward the south. It will expire at 11 a.m. Wednesday as we're watching for a wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow that will be on the way with the small craft advisory extended until 6 p.m. as we head towards your Wednesday. In the meantime, we're watching for rain and snow that will be moving in today. Some accumulations possible, but of course we will be watching for that wintry mix that will soon be on the way, and that will begin later on tonight. There's a precipitation right there moving from the west to the east. A lot going for it right now. In fact, even some thunderstorms, but eventually, again, rain and snow today, and then that wintry mix on the way later on tonight. So again, here's that wintry mix on the way later on today. Some rain and snow throughout the day. We catch a break. Then later on tonight, there's that wintry mix before we catch a break coming up in your Wednesday. So your hourly forecast moving forward again, there is that little bit of rain and snow on the way before we catch a break. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa?
Thank you, Devin. We'll look forward to that. Well, fire destroyed a local septic system business in Plymouth Monday, but the owner's home was saved. On Monday, a fire broke out at Nickerson Septic Service in Plymouth shortly after 3 p.m. It started with a septic fuel tank explosion next to the resident's home. Crews arrived to find the structure fully engulfed, calling in a third alarm to bring in additional manpower from 10 departments. One resident couldn't escape through the front door because of the intense heat, but was helped out the back by her daughter before EMS personnel arrived. The owner of Nickerson Septic Service, who was away working at the time, returned after getting a call mid-shift. The fire didn't actually impact his home, but will affect his business.
I don't have a truck now to drive to pump septic tanks at the moment, so we're gonna have to get on the ball and try to get that going again. All my neighbors come and help put it out. That's the kind of neighbors I got, friends I got.
The flames were under control after a few hours. Neighbors assisted by using an excavator to knock down the burning structure, and crews remained on the scene for extensive overhaul. No one was injured, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Meanwhile, a 12-year-old boy is in serious condition after investigators say he tried to start a fire in a fire pit. Firefighters were called to a home on Coot Lane in Topsom on Friday for a report of a boy with severe burns. The child was then transferred to a Massachusetts hospital where he remains in serious condition. The fire marshal's office says he and another child were trying to start a fire in a fire pit using gasoline. An apparent flash fire occurred involving the gasoline can, resulting in fuel being spilled on the 12-year-old and igniting. The second child was also taken to the hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation.
A man is facing charges this morning following a scary encounter with a Bangor woman. 31-year-old Garrett Foss was arrested Sunday night after he allegedly threatened the woman with a firearm. Bangor police say it was just after 10 o'clock Sunday night when they were called to a reported domestic violence incident at a residence on Broad Street. He was charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault, criminal threatening, and criminal restraint. Foss is also prohibited from being in possession of a firearm because of a previous offense. And because of that, he was also charged with possession of a firearm by a prohibited person and violating conditions of release.
3 Bangor police officers were justified when they shot a man last June. That's the finding of an investigation by the Attorney General's office. Attorney General Aaron Fry says officers believe 58-year-old Brian Barnes of Bangor was about to use deadly force against them. The incident happened on June 27th when the Bangor Regional Communications Center got a call from Barnes' wife saying that he had a gun and was suicidal. When officers arrived, they found Barnes in the driveway with a gun, yelling, quote, "It's either you or me." The report says the officers repeatedly told Barnes to put the gun down, but he went behind a tree and refused. The report says when he came out from behind the tree, Barnes leveled the gun in the direction of the officers. All 3 officers then fired in his direction and he fell to the ground. Barnes was taken to a local hospital to be treated. He later told detectives that on the day of the shooting, he was suicidal and had threatened the officers. The report also says that Barnes admitted to pointing the gun at them.
In other news this morning, Maine House Minority Leader and lobsterman Billy Bob Falkingham says the Maine Department of Labor is unfairly applying labor laws against him to target him politically. According to Falkingham, 2 summers ago, he took his son's best friend out lobstering with him and gave him $500 in compensation. Earlier this month, the Maine Department of Labor accused Falkingham of breaking child labor laws and fined him thousands of dollars. Falkingham says that he will not pay the fines and has filed court documents against the Department of Labor.
This enforcement that they've used against me has serious ramifications for the entire industry. This is an industry that's been regulated for over 150 years. There's 5,000 licensed fishermen, and they applied standards to me that don't apply to the lobster industry.
Falkingham says the Maine Lobstermen's Association, New England Fishermen's Stewardship Association, and Maine Lobstermen Union leaders have also expressed support for him.
The Maine Online Data Privacy Act is one step closer to becoming law. Despite being strongly contested, the Senate passed the bill following a second reading. Our Alex Schley tells us what still needs to happen before it reaches the governor's desk.
On Monday, the Maine Senate voted 18-16 to approve the second reading of the Online Data Privacy Act. If signed, the measure would establish strict, user-centric standards focusing on minimizing data collection, protecting sensitive information, and giving consumers the right to legal action. While the bill aims to protect Mainers, it's drawing pushback from small businesses who say they rely on data to reach customers.
By severely limiting the data that underpins modern digital marketing, the bill would increase costs, reduce effectiveness, and make it harder for Maine businesses to reach customers and grow. At the same time, it would advantage out-of-state competitors who are less constrained. The result is clear and avoidable competitive disadvantage for Maine employers.
Still, more than half of the Senate believes the bill strikes a right balance for consumer privacy.
The main complaint, and the one we've heard on the floor here today and in the communication from the chamber, isn't any specific provision of this bill. It is simply the idea that this, quote, limits the data that underpins modern digital marketing. And you know what? That is the point of this bill. Basically, it would make it harder for big data brokers to know and keep and sell some of our most intensely personal information.
With only 2 senators, Baldacci and Hickman crossing party lines.
They forced it through. It's sitting here in the Senate chamber, but will be going down the House.
Before the bill heads to the House for a final vote, the Verizon office will reprint it, incorporating all amendments into a single integrated document. Once finalized, it will return to both chambers before heading to the governor's desk. In Augusta, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
If you're seeking to utilize Maine's paid family and medical leave system in the near future, applications are now open. Pre-applications for benefits starting on or after May 1st are now open on the Maine.gov website. Eligible workers can take up to 12 weeks of paid time off in a benefit year. Benefits will start May 1st, 2026. The Maine paid family medical leave covers medical leave, parental leave, family care leave, military family leave, and safe leave as well.
The time now is 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, local Girl Scouts are sending cookies and thank you letters to troops serving overseas.
We'll hear all about it coming up, but first another look at the forecast. We could see a little rain and snow later today. High temperatures around 42 degrees. More of that overnight with lows dropping down to around 33. And yes, another chance of rain, freezing rain and snow tomorrow. Highs around 54. We'll be right back.
My name is Rebecca Babrot, and I'm studying my master's in social work at the University of Maine. After high school, I went to college at upstate New York, but then got involved with life and family, so I had a college education, but no degree. When I first thought about going back to school, it seemed really intimidating.
One of the great things about an online program is that you can combine studying as part of your day.
I'm actually studying right now.
It's such a great feeling to have made myself important in the process and to continue my education.
Need a driveway paved or an entire road surfaced? Give Eaton Paving and Excavation a call. Eaton Paving offers a full line of excavation packages, from new home projects to new and replacement septics and driveways. We also install new shoreland and do shoreland repairs. Our operators have more than 75 years combined experience, and we have been delivering quality, professional service for nearly 3 decades. We strive to exceed your expectations. Give us a call today at 207-348-5630 or visit us at EatonPaving.com.
Did you register the car in your name?
No, I didn't.
That's the problem.
A car seller is on the hook.
He got pulled over in his vehicle 26 times while he failed to register out of our name.
I think that's what made you mad.
There was parking tickets that I had to pay.
Now we're talking.
And he has a lot to get revved up about.
There's $3,000 worth of damages to this vehicle after I repossessed it from his girlfriend getting in a hit and run.
Next, Judge Judy.
Tuesday at 5 on ABC 7.
The Maine Maritime Academy officially took delivery of its newest training vessel. Our Doug Banks was in Portland for the occasion and got an inside look at the new state of Maine.
A day, generations in the making, has finally come to port. Because for the first time in Maine Maritime Academy's history, this training vessel that you see behind me is specifically built for its students.
This one was built to be a training ship. It's for putting people inside, responding to natural disasters, used for training, whatnot. This is like kind of a new start.
Construction of this 525-foot-long vessel began in 2023. It was built at the Hanwha Philly Shipyard in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Worth $330 million. Officials say the new state of Maine is the most sophisticated ship the Academy has ever operated. It's equipped with 2 full-size, fully functional bridges and engine rooms. Approximately 600 cadets could be on this ship at one time. In addition to supporting the academic development of those cadets, this vessel will also offer federal humanitarian relief efforts in response to natural disasters.
And we also have more classrooms, more lab spaces, more training spaces, a whole training bridge, 2 engine rooms. And it's just going to be an incredible asset for years to come for our students to learn how to be mariners.
The other aspects of this ship also serve to increase the quality of life for the students and their instructors.
On Monday in downtown Portland, the Academy officially took over the operations of its 5th state of Maine from the U.S. Maritime Administration. Those in attendance for Monday's ceremony included Academy leadership and cadets, state and federal government officials, and more.
For all of us at the Hanwha Philly Shipyard, delivering this vessel has been a source of immense pride, especially as being the first ship delivered under the Hanwha banner.
Her arrival also matters as it strengthens Maine. It supports good jobs throughout the maritime sector, operations, maintenance, logistics, training, and port services.
According to the ship's captain, the state of Maine will arrive in Castine in mid-July. In Portland, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, meanwhile, Girl Scout cookies are a yearly treat that many of us look forward to. But for those serving overseas, they are much harder, if not impossible, to get until now. Some local Girl Scouts went to the Holden Police Department with an idea on how to fix that. Pretty soon, the Maine Veterans Project and Maine Military Supply joined in to make it happen. And thanks to the partnership, 20 cases of Girl Scout cookies and thank you cards are now heading to our troops serving overseas.
It makes sense. It's our people, and it's good for the community, and it's good to kind of get out and do something in a positive manner. And these girls here, you know, they're full of energy and are excited about doing it too. So why not support it?
It's wonderful. You know, the county has been so divided, and see people getting together, like have a good cause and helping people. It's also wonderful. It's a good example to the kids.
Right now, there is no definite word on when the cookies will touch down overseas, but we are sure they'll be a welcome gift, and they'll probably be gone pretty quickly, too.
Well, a dog from Bangor named Pixie needs your vote. This 2.5-year-old canine is in a nationwide contest known as the 2026 Pet Lovers' Choice Awards. It's the first time ever fan-voted national awards competition celebrating America's dogs and cats. Think of it as the People's Choice Awards, but for pets. There are 15 different categories in the contest, and Pixie is in the cutest dog category. The public can vote once a day for free or pay more for one vote to help increase a pet's chances of winning their category. The winners and their owners will earn $10,000, the chance to travel to California for a red carpet event, and the opportunity to meet comedian and host Gabriel Iglesias, also known as Fluffy.
Anywhere that I could bring Pixie, if someone said, "Oh, your dog is so cute," I said, "Thank you." As a matter of fact, she's in a contest. So I just got votes anywhere I could. I've put them through the bank deposit at the teller window and through the drive-thru at the restaurant.
The 2026 Pet Lovers' Choice Awards benefits the Best Friends Animal Society, which promotes the no-kill shelter movement. People can vote online until Sunday, April 5th. We have a link to the contest on our website. Lisa says if Pixie wins, she plans to use the proceeds to build Pixie a fenced-in backyard.
Let's hope she gets
How
it,
cute
too.
is that?
She is a cute little pup, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The time now is 6:17. After the break, AI is being used for the tax filing process now. We'll learn about the pros and cons coming up.
Plus, many swimmers from the Bangor YMCA are traveling to the Sunshine State to compete. We'll have the details as Good Morning Maine rolls along.
Spring is here, and so are huge savings on all your favorite brands, including Benjamin Moore paints and Hunter Douglas shades. Color Concepts, 840 Hammond Street, Bangor. From the heart of Maine, where rugged beauty meets timeless craftsmanship, Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, taming the outdoors through groundwork, retaining walls and seawalls, building custom fireplaces that become the centerpiece of your home, crafting granite steps and patios that invite you outdoors, designing hardscapes that turn yards into living spaces, built to last, crafted for life. Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, quality in every stone.
5 signs that text, email, or call is a scam. Number 1, you weren't expecting it. Number 2, it says there's a prize or a problem. Number 3, they want personal information. Number 4, they pressure you to act quickly. Number 5, they ask you to pay a specific way. There will always be scammers, but you don't have to be their victim. Brought to you by this station, the Maine Association of Broadcasters, and the Office of the Secretary of State.
Spring is here, and so are huge savings on all your favorite brands, including Benjamin Moore paints and Hunter Douglas shades. Color Concepts, 840 Hammond Street, Bangor.
A handful of swimmers from the Bangor YMCA are trading in their fins for wings as they travel to Florida this week to compete in the ISCA East Coast Elite Showcase Swim Meet.
As Jody Hersey found out, it's a tough competition to qualify for and one that these swimmers are excited to experience.
Hi, I'm Oliver Alley and I qualified for the 50 free.
I'm Olivia Argelven and I qualified for the 50 fly. My name is Lauren Taylor and I qualified in the 50 freestyle.
My name is Malia Johnson and I qualified in the 50 breaststroke.
I'm Don Venziano. I qualified in the 50 free.
5 of the 120 swimmers that make up the Bangor YMCA Barracuda swim team are competing in Florida this week, while their 17-year-old teammate, Lola Cowing of Hamden Academy, will be racing at the same time in North Carolina at the YMCA Short Course Nationals competition.
Still can't even believe I made it, though, to be honest, because I've been trying for years, and this was the first year that I made it, so.
When Cowing was younger, she participated in the outdoor Florida meet twice and is happy to see her teammates get the chance as well.
This crew here has been the crew that's been putting in quite a bit of work at swim, I can tell, because I've seen them working for it, so it's good to see that they made it.
All 6 swimmers had to make certain cut times in order to qualify for these 2 competitions outside of Maine, something their coach says takes a lot of practice and determination.
I think it is a testament to the program, and then that we have the right environment for these kids to own their swimming and make of it what they want to.
Coach Sean Rich believes even more Barracuda swimmers will be able to experience these swimming opportunities in the years to come.
We're an extremely young team, and this is probably the first of probably many batches that we'll see qualify for these meets.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Good luck to them.
Yes, congratulations. Now let's get a full look at our weather forecast with meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Tick and Mosquito Guard. We saw ticks and mosquitoes now serving Washington, Hancock, and Penobscot counties. We are pet safe and have eco-friendly options available. Call today for a free quote. 207-263-3421. Alrighty, here we go. Advisories posted, winter weather advisories up until 11 a.m. Wednesday. They have been expanded because of the snow that's expected as well. And of course, that wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow on the way. We also have a small craft advisory that has been expanded until 6 p.m. or should I say extended until 6 p.m. as we head towards your Wednesday. So as we check things out, 4-foot wave heights are currently being seen, but notice where we have the light blues and greens, higher surf being looked at this time. 9-foot to even 17-foot wave heights farther out towards sea. But meanwhile on land, we're watching for the rain and snow that's currently developing off toward the west. A lot of the stronger precipitation is farther off toward the west beyond that. You can see that right there. That's moving into parts of the northeast at this time, and will start off as a little bit of a wintry mix before it transitions over to all snow. So you can see that little bit of a transition line right there throughout the morning before it switches over to all snow. We catch a break during the afternoon, and there's that wintry mix on the way as we head towards parts of Wednesday morning. And then once we head through parts of Wednesday afternoon, still a little bit of precipitation, but it does back off through parts of the afternoon period. And then by Wednesday night, we're looking pretty good. So again, here's some snowfall today. Not a whole lot. A lot of it will be during parts of the northern parts of the state. But again, the main focus will be on the ice concerns further off towards the north. Here's a highlighted area that's going to be the primary concerns there for at least a couple tenths of an inch of ice before we're all finished up. But for today, here's what we're looking at. So rain and snow showers. Again, it could get a little icy for a little bit too before we switch over to just rain and snow with highs in the low 40s, northeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow, some fog as well with lows in the low 30s and the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, mid-50s as well, but beforehand, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow before it backs off. North wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And let's check out your extended forecast. And for your Thursday, mostly cloudy with highs in the mid-40s. For Good Friday, that wintry mix switching over to rain with highs in the upper 40s and low 50s coming up for your Saturday under a mostly cloudy sky. That extended forecast brought to you by Tick and Mosquito Guard.
Grab a cup, fill it up, top it off, weigh it up. Here at Sweet Frog, you are in total control. Sweet Frog, where our secret ingredient is fun.
Hanks Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snowblowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hanks Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
I had a slip and fall accident. I wasn't sure what to do. Joe Bornstein's office handled everything. The experience was much better than what I expected. They were very professional and responsive to all my questions and concerns. I highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein. Over 25,000 victories for injured Mainers just like me. If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe. It's that easy. Tell him you mean business.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
The marathon of life can be challenging. Chores and responsibilities keep us from the things we once loved and the aspirations we set. But it's never too late to find your second wind. With an affordable, fully online program and advisors to help you along the way, you can cross the finish line when it works for you. Finish strong at the University of Maine.
Grab a cup, fill it up, top it off, weigh it up. Here at Sweet Frog, you are in total control. Sweet Frog, where our secret ingredient is fun.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Overnight, new attacks across the Middle East, including an oil tanker, as President Trump looks to make a deal to bring an end to the war now in its second month. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the latest.
Overnight, the volatility around the Strait of Hormuz sending prices skyrocketing. Gas reaching an average of $4 a gallon for the first time in more than 3 years, according to AAA. In Israel, an oil refinery catching fire. Israel says it was caused by debris from an intercepted missile barrage. The attacks coming amid this new threat from President Trump, warning the U.S. will be, quote, blowing up and completely obliterating Iranian energy infrastructure and drinking water plants if Iran doesn't make a deal and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Still, Trump this week insisting a deal to end the war could come soon.
They're agreeing with us on the plan. I mean, we asked for 15 things, and for the most part, we're going to be asking for a couple of other things.
But Iran publicly denying they're negotiating, calling the U.S. proposal excessive, unrealistic, and illogical. ABC's Rachel Scott pressing the White House.
So how do you square that? How do you explain that discrepancy between the two?
I think the American people are smart enough not to take the word of a terrorist regime that has chanted death to America for 47 years at their word.
Nearly 50,000 U.S. troops now in the region, including 3,500 sailors and Marines from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit. The president not ruling out a ground invasion. And in the meantime, another oil tanker attacked in the Middle East, struck by an unknown projectile near the critical Strait of Hormuz. That tanker from Kuwait reportedly carrying 2 million barrels of crude oil. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Well, meanwhile, tax season is in full swing and the deadline to file is just about 2 weeks away. Many may be looking to file on their own while using new AI programs to get the most out of the refund. ABC's Michelle Franzen is here with some tips and potential pitfalls to look out for.
Artificial intelligence is part of the tax filing process now, but there are some pros and cons when it comes to using AI, especially when it comes to your most sensitive data. Software tax websites offer filers AI options to help answer some questions in chat or streamlining the process by helping scanning and uploading some of those tax documents. Those programs, though, typically have some built-in security systems, but some filers may want to save some time by turning to public chat programs like ChatGPT or Gemini to help with their tax questions. Cybersecurity experts say AI can be a big help, but warn not to volunteer things like income, tax data, or any other personal and sensitive information that could fall in the wrong hands.
Where there is a chance for fraudulent behavior and for hackers to start getting involved is the fact that when you enter your income level, your social security number, your home address into a public model, there is a chance now that hackers can get access to that and do identity theft. And so that's the risk to just you throwing everything you can think of into AI and saying, do my tax return.
Experts say if you're not willing to put that information and post it on your Facebook or Instagram or other social media, don't put it into AI. Michelle Franzen, ABC News, New York.
In Texas, a judge is facing criticism for how he addressed a county employee, and their encounter was caught on camera. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
It's the tense moment between a Texas judge and an IT worker going viral.
You get out of my courtroom.
This clip shows Harris County Judge Nathan Milleron moving aside to allow the IT staffer to help with a computer issue.
5 seconds. 1 second. You don't have to go far.
The technician quickly resolves the issue and makes light of it.
False alarm. No, it wasn't a false alarm. False negative.
But Judge Milleron doesn't find it funny.
Don't joke around. I'm serious about this. It was happening. Again. I understand. I'm just saying I can't see it, sir. We're good. Thank you. Get out of my courtroom.
After telling the staffer to get out of his courtroom, the judge can be seen commenting to himself.
Sick and tired of this today.
Milleron, who was elected in 2024, commented overnight on Facebook saying, "The video has been edited, right?" But he did not elaborate any further. A state commission oversees judicial conduct. Our station says available records show Milleron has not been sanctioned, but he may have already been tried in the court of public opinion.
If he's rude to the staffers like that, I can only imagine how he's speaking to the parties that come to his court.
A living, breathing abuse of authority.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Well, coming up on the second half of the newscast, astronauts will blast off to the moon for the first time in more than a half century.
We'll tell you all about it coming up on Good Morning Maine.
This week, wake up with Zendaya, right here on Good Morning America.
I mean, hello.
Plus, Brandy's here live. And this morning, it's Arsenio hitting GMA.
That's almost perfect.
Only on Good Morning America.
Welcome to outdoor living. Welcome to Granville Stone and Hearth. Goodness knows we've been cooped up long enough. Make plans now to enjoy the outside of your home, too. Come to Granville and see, touch, and imagine what you can do in your backyard. Light a path, light a fire, grill a meal, sit a bit. It's all in stock. There's a staycation right outside your door with expert help from Granville, one of the largest outdoor living suppliers in Maine. Granville Stone and Hearth, Main Road, Holden.
Who has the best kept secret in Penobscot County?
We do!
Welcome to Maple Lane Farms, a fifth-generation family farm that's committed to providing you with the best quality products. Our farm-raised local and sustainable meat is flash frozen to lock in the freshness and natural flavors. Experience the top-notch quality of our meat that's naturally raised without any antibiotics or hormones. Get the best of both worlds, quality and affordability. Try Maple Lane Farms today, the candy store for the carnivore.
All across America.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wherever we are, it feels like home.
Man, it's good to be home.
GMA, it's an invitation to come together and brighten your morning.
When you combine a fast-paced word game,
4 of them make $1.
Hoarders, hosted by Leah Remini.
What is swing? Did you just say what is?
Yes,
you just realized you're not on Jeopardy. Okay.
You've got a recipe for fun.
I got a few dances, Leah. I like to do this guy here. At weddings, I kill it.
You do not kill nothing with that.
People Puzzler.
Weekdays at 10 on ABC 7.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026, and this is also National Crayon Day.
This day sparks fond memories of childhood creations that were full of color. Crayola crayons were introduced in 1903 by the Binney & Smith Company as a safer alternative to the art utensils of the time. It began with just 8 basic colors, but that changed greatly over the years. Now there are dozens of colors with over 12 million crayons made each day.
And one of the good things about when you start having kids too, you can play with crayons again.
Right.
You know, that's what
It's
makes
so
me
fun.
think about that.
I remember too, like they have those really big packages of all the different colors.
With the little
Sharpener.
in
Yeah.
the back and everything.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's nothing like getting that fresh box of crayons too.
Yeah.
I can almost smell them now,
Yeah, I
the
can
wax
too.
and everything like that.
They're a good time.
Yeah. So happy National Crayon
Day.
Yeah. Time for some more history. It was on this date back in 1889. The Eiffel Tower opened up in Paris. It was the winning design from a competition to help celebrate the anniversary of the French Revolution. At almost 1,000 feet tall, it was the world's tallest building when it was completed. Gustave Eiffel was a bridge builder who also built the metal frame that holds up the Statue of Liberty here in the U.S. 1918, the U.S. first observed daylight saving time, moving clocks ahead 1 hour. And in 1940 on this date, LaGuardia Airport opened up to the public in New York.
And in 1943, the play Oklahoma opened on Broadway and would become one of the longest running shows. In 1968, President Lyndon B. Johnson stunned listeners during a television broadcast by announcing that he would not seek another term as president. And in 1993, actor Brandon Lee was accidentally shot to death while filming a movie in North Carolina. It was supposed to be his breakthrough role for the upcoming actor, and the 28-year-old was filming The Crow when he was hit by a bullet fragment that had become lodged in a prop gun. And lastly, in 2004, Google announced it would be introducing a free email service called Gmail, of course.
And I still use it to this day.
Me too.
And still haven't cleaned out my old email, so there's probably like 50 million of them in there.
I think I'm the same way. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people can relate to that. Multiple Gmail accounts, too many emails in there.
Yeah, it's hard to keep them all up to where they should be.
It is.
All right, for birthdays today, got some talented guys out there. They include actor Christopher Walken, who is 83 today. Former Vice President Al Gore is 78, and guitarist Angus Young from the band AC/DC turns 71 years old today. How about that? Happy birthday to you also if your birthday is today.
We'll turn things right back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Tick and Mosquito Guard. We stop ticks and mosquitoes. Now serving Washington, Hancock, and Penobscot counties. We are pet safe and have eco-friendly options available. Call today for a free quote, 207-263-3421. Alrighty, here we go. We have advisories posted. The winter weather advisory actually expanded farther down toward the south. It will expire at 11 a.m. Wednesday as we're watching for a wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow that will be on the way with the small craft advisory extended until 6 p.m. as we head towards your Wednesday. In the meantime, we're watching for rain and snow that will be moving in today. Some accumulations possible, but of course we will be watching for that wintry mix that will soon be on the way, and that will begin later on tonight. There's a precipitation right there moving from the west to the east. A lot going for it right now. In fact, even some thunderstorms, but eventually, again, rain and snow today, and then that wintry mix on the way later on tonight. So again, here's that wintry mix on the way later on today. Some rain and snow throughout the day. We catch a break. Then later on tonight, there's that wintry mix before we catch a break coming up in your Wednesday. So your hourly forecast moving forward again, there is that little bit of rain and snow on the way before we catch a break. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa?
Thank you, Devin. Now for the latest on what's happening in Hollywood.
Here's ABC's Melissa Adon.
Celine Dion's show will go on.
I'm getting the chance to see you, to perform for you once again in Paris.
After teasing the announcement last week, the Canadian superstar has confirmed a limited engagement at Paris La Défense Arena in the City of Lights. She'll play 10 nights starting September 12th. These will be the first full concerts she's played since 2020 and her first since revealing her stiff person syndrome diagnosis in 2022.
She's crashing!
Grey's Anatomy isn't going anywhere. ABC confirmed on Monday that the beloved series will return for a 23rd season. Last year, it was the #1 most streamed series globally across Disney Plus and Hulu, and the #2 most streamed show in the U.S. across all platforms.
Have you ever been to Mexico?
Me? In Mexico?
The return of HBO's Euphoria is weeks away, and we've got a new look at season 3, which takes place after a time jump. In the new trailer, Rue is interrogated by DEA agents. Nate and Cassie get married. Jules returns to sex work, and Lexi gets great reviews for her play. Euphoria returns April 12th on HBO and HBO Max. And Christopher Walken is 83 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Don, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Still to come here this morning, Jack Webb with sports.
Don't go away.
Jonathan Bush. He's a battle-tested trailblazer who's created over 900 jobs in Maine.
The jobs that Jonathan brought to Belfast were really transformative for so many families.
Now Bush wants to shake up Augusta. He'll slash wasteful spending and cut property and income taxes. A $1 billion tax cut for hardworking Mainers.
Jonathan is a big thinker with big ideas, but he actually makes them happen.
I'm Jonathan Bush. I look forward to earning your vote.
Got old metal and junk cars? Turn that clutter into cash at Daddy and Daughters. We make recycling easy, fast, and fair. From Skowhegan to Dover Foxcroft, from Troy to Lee, you can trust our certified scales and friendly service, offering top prices for junk vehicles in Maine. Whether you drop off or we pick up, Daddy and Daughters covers central and eastern Maine. Come see us at one of our 4 locations and watch your scrap pay off. Daddy and Daughters turn scrap into cash.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Welcome back in, folks. Happy spring sports season. Monday was the first day full teams could practice, marking the official start of the spring sports season here in Maine. March 30th was the start date, with state championship weekend scheduled for June 20th for baseball, softball, and lacrosse. Monday afternoon was a busy one over at Brewer High School. Both their lacrosse and tennis teams taking advantage of the gorgeous day outside while they can, enjoying being back outdoors with their friends and teammates.
Outside. I feel like this is the first year that we've been outside for the first practice, so it's really exciting. And we have a pretty big team, so seeing like all the new freshmen coming in is really fun. Also returning players is cool.
Man, it's amazing. Beautiful day out. You know, it's 58 degrees out or something like that, but it's great. Got the boys back together. You know, we're rolling. Got a couple of drills going on right now, but we're feeling good.
We all know with the wild card month of April, you don't take nice days like that for granted. Well, folks, our Final Four is set. It'll be Michigan and Arizona in a heavyweight battle, and Illinois taking on UConn after an all-time March Madness moment on Sunday. In case you haven't seen it yet, let me paint the picture for you. Duke was dominating the game, up 19 at one point during the contest, but the Huskies didn't stop fighting. They clawed their way back in the second half, and with 10 seconds left, this happened.
Got to cut and run through the ball and do better than this guy.
Get it into Boozer, back for Saar, ahead, Boozer, that ball deflected and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds, Mullins tosses it up. Oh! It's good with point 3. UConn goes in front.
Utterly impossible.
I mean, just one of the greatest shots in March Madness history when asked why he didn't call a timeout after UConn got possession of the ball. Head coach Dan Hurley said he just decided to let March Madness do its thing. That one busted my bracket and my heart. Well, last week we talked to Brewer native Matt Pouchard about making the St. Louis Cardinals opening day roster and how much of a dream come true that was for him. Well, over the weekend, the former Maine Black Bear made his MLB debut. The Cardinals were down 6-3 when they brought Pouchard onto the mound in the 8th inning. He allowed 3 runs on 3 hits. He got a batter to pop out to record his first out, but then one of those hits was a back-breaking blooper which landed in shallow right field, allowing a run. Pouchard also recorded a strikeout and a walk in his inning of work. The Cardinals took the series 2-1 against the Tampa Bay Rays. They began a series with the Mets on Monday. We'll go to the hardwood now and check in with the Boston Celtics, who scored a big win over the red-hot Charlotte Hornets on Sunday night. The 114-99 win marked the Celtics' 50th of the season. It was supposed to be a rebuilding year. It was a big night for star Jason Tatum. He's still less than a month removed from his comeback from injury, and he had his best game yet in Charlotte. He scored 32 points with 5 rebounds and 8 assists. An extremely impressive game from the Celtics star, who was just looking to find his footing again and certainly find his game. Here was head coach Joe Mazzulla on Tatum's performance.
You know, he did a good job just getting to the spot that he wanted. Saw a bunch of different coverages tonight. He was able to kind of diagnose those. You know, he played against drop, played against switching, played against the double team. I thought he made the right play when it was necessary. You know, tonight, only 5 rebounds, so we got to get better at that. But I thought he did a great job, on the offensive end, just diagnosing the different coverages and making the play that was necessary.
I mean, that's prototypical Joe Mazzulla, isn't it? Your star puts up 32, 5, and 8, and he says we still got to work on the 5 rebounds. That's not enough. The Celtics fell to the Hawks on Monday night, 112-102. Tatum actually had the night off, along with some other Celtic stars. They were just resting him on to, heal that torn Achilles that he's still nursing. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Most business problems start with one thing: unreliable technology. Digital Brains monitors, protects, and maintains your entire IT environment, keeping everything running flawlessly. When your technology works for you, your business starts thriving. Faster service, happier clients, more productivity, less stress. Clients don't wait, neither should you. Contact Digital Brains today for your free technology assessment. Digital Brains, we help people feel free.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer.
Need a driveway paved or an entire road surfaced? Give Eaton Paving and Excavation a call. Eaton Paving offers a full line of excavation packages, from new home projects to new and replacement septics and driveways. We also install new shoreland and do shoreland repairs. Our operators have more than 75 years combined experience, and we have been delivering quality, professional service for nearly 3 decades. We strive to exceed your expectations. Give us a call today at 207-348-5630 or visit us at eatonpaving.com.
With the countdown to the launch of Artemis II ticking louder, the first NASA mission to the moon in more than 50 years is sparking fond memories from those who helped America dominate the space race.
Now, former NASA engineers who worked on Apollo missions are revealing what this upcoming trip to the stars means to them. Fox News' Kevin Uretsky takes a closer look.
Houston, what does the old moon look like from 60 miles, over?
Astronauts will blast off to the moon for the first time in more than half a century after the Apollo missions, with the launch of Artemis II set for April 1st.
It is our strong hope that this mission is the start of an era where every person on Earth can look at the moon and think of it as also a destination.
The 32-story rocket will carry 4 astronauts into the final frontier, where they will orbit around the Earth before their Orion capsule transports them to the moon and back. NASA hasn't sent a team to the moon since Apollo 17 back in 1972.
I love pushing
back at the frontiers of science, and this is a step in that direction.
The excitement building up ahead of the Artemis II launch is especially being felt by John Tribe, a propulsion engineer on the Apollo missions.
I have been blessed to have worked in probably the most exciting period to date of the space industry.
Tribe is thrilled to see the knowledge he and his colleagues helped gather now being advanced. While Artemis II won't land on the moon, experts say this mission will lay the groundwork for future trips to the moon's surface, with the Artemis program aiming to set up an outpost there to help propel later trips to Mars. And as a new generation looks to the stars, those who helped humanity reach them can't help but smile.
It's spectacular. Yeah, it's the next phase. We should have done Artemis 50 years ago.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
It's going to be exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
Now here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Tick Mosquito Guard. We saw ticks and mosquitoes now serving Washington, Hancock, and Penobscot counties. We are pet safe and have eco-friendly options available. Call today for a free quote. 207-263-3421. Alrighty, here we go. Advisories posted, winter weather advisories up until 11 a.m. Wednesday. They have been expanded because of the snow that's expected as well. And of course, that wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow on the way. We also have a small craft advisory that has been expanded until 6 p.m. or should I say extended until 6 p.m. as we head towards your Wednesday. So as we check things out, 4-foot wave heights are currently being seen, but notice where we have the light blues and greens, higher surf being looked at this time. 9-foot to even 17-foot wave heights farther out towards sea. But meanwhile on land, we're watching for the rain and snow that's currently developing off toward the west. A lot of the stronger precipitation is farther off toward the west beyond that. You can see that right there. That's moving into parts of the northeast at this time, and will start off as a little bit of a wintry mix before it transitions over to all snow. So you can see that little bit of a transition line right there throughout the morning before it switches over to all snow. We catch a break during the afternoon, and there's that wintry mix on the way as we head towards parts of Wednesday morning. And then once we head through parts of Wednesday afternoon, still a little bit of precipitation, but it does back off through parts of the afternoon period. And then by Wednesday night, we're looking pretty good. So again, here's some snowfall today. Not a whole lot. A lot of it will be during parts of the northern parts of the state. But again, the main focus will be on the ice concerns further off towards the north. Here's a highlighted area that's going to be the primary concerns there for at least a couple tenths of an inch of ice before we're all finished up. But for today, here's what we're looking at. So rain and snow showers. Again, it could get a little icy for a little bit too before we switch over to just rain and snow with highs in the low 40s, northeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow, some fog as well with lows in the low 30s and the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, mid-50s as well, but beforehand, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow before it backs off. North wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And let's check out your extended forecast. And for your Thursday, mostly cloudy with highs in the mid-40s. For Good Friday, that wintry mix switching over to rain with highs in the upper 40s and low 50s coming up for your Saturday under a mostly cloudy sky. That extended forecast brought to you by Tick Mosquito Guard.
At the County Federal Credit Union, we value the trust our members place in us to act in their best interest. Whether it's providing low rates on consumer loans or raising money to end hunger, we work hard to serve our members and the communities in which they live. We are excited to bring the meaningful and impactful work we do to all Mainers as we continue to grow. Wherever you are in life's journey, count on the county to be your financial partner.
Need a safe and caring place for your loved one during the day? At the Merchant Center Adult Day program, we provide a supportive environment where adults can enjoy companionship, engaging activities, and personalized care in a setting that feels like home. Our experienced staff is committed to meeting each person's unique needs while promoting independence, dignity, and overall well-being. Families can feel confident knowing their loved ones are in compassionate, capable hands.
When I was 29, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I think part of research and advocating for more money for cancer research allows survivors to have more time. Senator Collins supports and advocates for more funding for cancer research so that people can have better treatments, they can have better outcomes, and therefore they can live better lives as cancer survivors. Thank you, Senator Collins. Continue fighting for our families.
A professional hit, private vaults.
They made a copy of a hard drive.
Now I really want to know what's on this. On a scale of 1 to Godzilla, with the intel they have...
Someone to cripple the city without firing a shot.
Take cover!
The fun never stops at Wheel.
You got it! It's a car! You're a millionaire!
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
It wasn't your typical Sunday morning at the ABQ Biopark Zoo. Sunday's opening day was delayed by half an hour because Alice the elephant was loose inside the zoo. According to the biopark director, Alice's adventure took place at 7:30 a.m. when she was spotted on a public walkway outside of the living quarters. Animal care staff quickly arrived at the scene and helped the 52-year-old Asian elephant return to her living area, and no other elephants were involved in the escape. The zoo closed at the time of the encounter, so no guests witnessed the incident. Zoo personnel cleared debris in the area that was created when Alice decided to snack on nearby plants and trees. Operations at the zoo are now back to normal, but the elephant habitat will remain closed until that fence is repaired.
Just went for a little stroll,
Yeah.
a little morning stroll. Why
That
not?
is too funny.
Well, meanwhile, sharks in a Las Vegas casino aquarium get to eat like kings. At the Shark Reef Aquarium in the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, around 15 different species of sharks feed on a strict diet of high-quality fish and vitamins. In about 1 week, the aquarium goes through around 500 pounds of fish.
So as far as the quality of the food is the same that goes to the hotel in the high-end restaurants. It's the same food these guys are getting.
The aquarium is a major tourist attraction, drawing in more than 21 million visitors since it first opened in 2000. I got to go there one time,
Oh,
and
really?
it's just amazing to see all those sharks up close,
Yeah,
too.
that is really cool, and they sure are eating like kings.
Yeah, good for them.
Well, that's all the time that we have left for this hour, but you can join us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22.
Thanks for being there, everyone. We hope you have a great day.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine.
Landscaping and construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust, we get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Your call is important to us.
You've heard this before, too many times. Tired of being customer 45978? Yeah, we would be too. Speed means fast uploads, no lag, and zero buffering. But it also means calling you back, showing up on time, and treating you like a person, not a problem. So whether you're working, streaming, gaming, or all three, it is time to make the switch to a provider that actually tries. Go NetSpeed. Service isn't dead. It just moved local.
At the County Federal Credit Union, we value the trust our members place in us to act in their best interest. Whether it's providing low rates on consumer loans or raising money to end hunger, we work hard to serve our members and the communities in which they live. We are excited to bring the meaningful and impactful work we do to all Mainers as we continue to grow. Wherever you are in life's journey, count on the county to be your financial partner.
I know that you're sitting right in front of me, but can I say hi to Douglas?
Obviously.
Hey, gorgeous. Hi, Douglas.
Douglas is making this interview super fun.
When I rescued him, he was 8 weeks old.
I'm being licked right now.
Dougie's really the star.
Where does the dog go after the show?
My house.
Weekdays at 11 on Fox 22.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust, we get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Good Morning Maine on WFVX, Fox 22. From the Great North Woods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a fire broke out at Nickerson Septic Service yesterday in Plymouth as a septic fuel tank exploded. We'll have the details coming up.
Plus, the Maine Senate votes to approve the second reading of the Online Data Privacy Act. We'll learn more about that bill coming up as well.
And for the first time in Maine Maritime Academy's history, they have a training vessel built specifically for the students. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday morning. We'll give you a look at that new state-of-the-art ship coming up.
It's really neat.
But first, a check of the forecast. Turned out to be a beautiful day yesterday. Today, not so much. Be quiet this morning, but there's a chance of some rain, freezing rain, maybe a little snow later on.
All of that.